Hello friends, welcome to my channel, Recap Stories. Today, we are going to discuss an intriguing tale. The story begins with a young man named Roman, who, on his birthday, decides to buy drugs for his party. After getting the drugs, he gets into his father's luxurious car and starts driving while smoking a cigarette. Suddenly, he exclaims, "Oh my God! What a huge mistake I've made." Because he accidentally threw the cigarette inside the car. He quickly stops the car, gets out, and tries to dispose of the cigarette. Just then, a girl suddenly runs into his car. She has bandages on her head, her clothes are dirty, and she looks extremely terrified as though she had escaped from a hospital or laboratory. Without saying anything, she gets into Roman's car. Roman, shocked and confused, asks her what happened. Instead of answering, the girl starts crying. Roman considers calling the emergency services, but when he notices her fear intensify at the mention of the police, he decides against it. He opts to help her himself but faces the problem of not knowing where to take her since she isn't speaking. As they drive, the girl pulls out a recorder. On the recording, Roman hears the voices of commandos saying, "We are conducting experiments on this subject, labeled C-39, but it has escaped." The girl tries to explain that they are talking about her. At this moment, Roman realizes she has been through something horrifying. Soon after, the girl begins to behave erratically. She hits her head against the car, makes strange gestures, and pulls out a knife, attempting to harm herself. Roman tries his best to stop her but fails. Suddenly, the girl stabs herself and smears her blood on Roman before collapsing lifelessly onto the seat. Roman is horrified. On his birthday, he finds himself trapped in a situation he couldn't have imagined. He tries to revive the girl, but she remains motionless. Frantic, he drives his car to a garage, hoping to figure out what to do next. When he checks again, the girl's body has vanished. This disappearance leaves Roman even more terrified. Not only is he mentally disturbed by what just happened, but he is also overwhelmed by the fear of being discovered with a corpse in his car. Despite his plans to attend his birthday celebration, he is completely disheartened. Trying to regain his composure, he decides to take a shower. Afterward, he reflects on his actions, blaming himself for stopping the car in the first place. While deep in thought, his father calls to ask if the car is fine. This conversation highlights how much Roman's father values the car, explaining why Roman panicked earlier when he dropped the cigarette inside. Roman assures his father that the car is fine and ends the call. He then inspects the car again, but the girl is no longer there. This confirms that she wasn't dead but had been unconscious and had managed to escape. Roman is baffled, wondering how she survived despite her injuries and where she found the strength to run away. This question confuses Roman, and he begins searching for the girl. Suddenly, there is a knock on the door. Roman opens it to find his friend, Anna, standing there. Since it was Roman's birthday, Anna had come to pick him up for the party. However, Roman's anxiety causes him to behave oddly. He halts Anna and resumes his search for the girl. Anna, frustrated, steps outside and starts smoking a cigarette. Realizing she might be upset, Roman calls her back. Anna tries to explain that she came to take him to the party, but Roman behaves strangely. He attempts to reassure her and sends her away. Soon, Roman's other friends also arrive to pick him up. Roman, however, sends only Anna with them, explaining that he wasn't feeling well and would join them later. Back inside, Roman checks the CCTV footage, hoping to find the girl, but she's nowhere to be seen. Disappointed, he steps outside. His friends are still waiting for him. This time, Roman agrees to join them. On the way and even at the party, his behavior remains peculiar, drawing everyone's attention. Roman's mind is preoccupied with the girl, leaving Anna puzzled about what was going on. One of his friends finally asks, "Roman, what's wrong with you?" Ignoring their questions, Roman walks into a room. Meanwhile, Anna and her friend go to the restroom. Later, when Anna leaves, Roman approaches her friend, seemingly betraying Anna. Anna's friend notices an unusual gleam in Roman's eyes, which frightens her. She informs Anna, who confronts Roman about it. Instead of answering, Roman stares at his reflection in the mirror, moving his neck erratically like a madman. At that moment, Roman receives a call from his father. His father says, the house alarm went off, and someone was spotted moving on the cameras. I'm not home, you should check what's happening. Roman immediately leaves for home. As he departs, Anna notices the strange glow in his eyes, suspecting something abnormal. Outside, one of Roman's friends invites him back to the party, but Roman's anger flares up, and he beats his friend severely. Anna's friend tries to intervene, but Roman pushes her away as well. He then rides off on a bicycle toward his house. Upon arriving home, Roman turns off the alarm. His father calls again and asks, did a burglar break in? Is anything stolen? Roman assures him that everything is fine. However, his father laughs oddly before hanging up, deepening Roman's suspicions. Roman begins searching the house room by room and eventually finds the recorder that belonged to the girl. The recorder contains audio from a lab experiment. Listening to the recording, Roman walks outside, where he spots the same girl, still injuring herself with a knife. Roman quickly grabs the knife and throws it away, but the girl pulls out a device from her body. Seeing this, Roman panics and starts running. From a window, he notices some commandos chasing the girl. The commandos soon realize someone else is inside the house. Terrified, Roman steps outside and starts behaving bizarrely, laughing loudly, licking the ground, and walking backward. The commandos capture him and take him with them. Meanwhile, Anna calls Roman. However, someone else answers the call, presumably one of the commandos. Anna believed she was still speaking to Roman. She said, the boy you hit has broken his neck. Why did you attack him with such intensity? Anna's behavior also began to change unusually. She started shaking her neck in the same manner as Roman. At that moment, her friend called, and Anna replied, something strange is happening to me as well. Suddenly, she burst into tears and disconnected the call. Anna and her friend realized that someone was following them. It turned out to be commandos. When the taxi driver stepped out to question why they were being chased, the commandos killed him. Seeing this, Anna became terrified and decided to drive the taxi herself. After driving some distance, she stopped the car and began walking bizarrely on the road while the commandos continued pursuing her. Anna started running, but the commandos kept firing at her. Shockingly, despite being shot at, she didn't stop and kept running. At one point, she asked some people for help and requested them to call the police. She entered a restroom, stared at her reflection in the mirror for a while, and then began crying. Just then, Anna's friend called her again and asked her to meet at the station, suggesting they could escape using a bike. Meanwhile, the commandos reached a nearby club and killed everyone inside with relentless gunfire. Witnessing this, Anna jumped out of a window and ran toward the location her friend had mentioned. Along the way, her eyes started glowing unnaturally, and her behavior became even more erratic. She attacked a girl, smeared the girl's blood on her own body, and continued forward. On her way, Anna snatched a boy's bicycle. When the boy tried to stop her, she killed him and threw his body into a nearby pond. Before leaving, she said to him, I'm sorry, I'm not doing this willingly. Something is forcing me. Throughout the city, alarms began blaring, indicating that strange and terrifying events were occurring everywhere. Eventually, Anna reached her friend. Seeing Anna's condition, her friend hurriedly placed her on the bike. However, Anna started smearing her own blood on her friend. Disturbed by this, Anna's friend pushed her off the bike and ran away. At that moment, her friend's mom called, saying, something unusual is happening in the city, and my wheelchair is stuck in one place. Hearing this, Anna's friend left to rescue her mother, but Anna started chasing her. Anna's speed was unnaturally fast, resembling that of a wild beast. Her friend managed to reach her building and took the elevator to her apartment. While in the elevator, she became even more terrified as Anna's screams echoed from below. Anna was attacking and killing people in the building, devouring their bodies. Amidst the chaos, the commandos' voices could be heard, announcing that a dangerous virus had spread throughout the city. They assured, if you're uninfected, we can save you. The elevator finally stopped on her floor. When she entered her home, she was horrified by what she saw. Anna was eating her mom. After finishing her gruesome act, Anna turned toward her friend, presenting an even more horrific sight. Her behavior was entirely animalistic, and she seemed ready to attack anyone. Terrified, her friend began running but encountered a commando wearing a mask. The commando examined her eyes to ensure she wasn't infected. Since she wasn't infected yet, the commando removed her mask. She advanced to eliminate Anna, but unexpectedly, Anna attacked her instead. After a fierce struggle, the commando managed to kill Anna by repeatedly shooting her in the head. However, this action proved fatal for the commando. Anna's blood splattered onto her feet, and she too became infected. This reveals that if the blood of an infected person comes into contact with the skin of a normal human, they too become infected. The virus is extremely dangerous and spreads rapidly. Once an infected person is fully under the virus's influence, they become fiercely violent. The commando warned Anna's friend to stay away from infected individuals and to seek shelter in the dark whenever possible, as infected people are attracted to light. The commando then urged Anna's friend to flee quickly, as she might soon become infected herself and could cause harm. In her final moments, the commando asked Anna's friend to turn away and then shot herself to end her life. This act clearly demonstrated why the commandos were killing infected individuals. They didn't want the virus to spread further and cause widespread destruction. However, by this time, the virus had already spread throughout the city, and Anna's friend was slowly becoming infected as well. Her behavior began to change. She started laughing manically. Destruction spread throughout the city, and despite the commandos' best efforts, it was impossible to contain the virus. This virus was actually the result of a secret government experiment. The goal was to create super-fast soldiers with immense power. However, something went wrong during the experiment, causing humans to become infected and turn extremely savage. They started harming others as well as themselves. The nature of the virus and its rapid spread had gotten out of control. The story ends by leaving us with a question. Will the commandos find a solution to this problem, or will the virus spread across the entire world? Please let us know what you think of the story by leaving a comment below. I kindly request you to help me reach 10,000 subscribers on my channel soon. We hope that you all will enjoy this video and like it. Please do subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for your heartfelt comments. See you in the next video.